Hey y'all, welcome back. Season 3, Gemini Podcast. I missed y'all. I really did. And I hope y'all enjoying so far what has been released. But I'm gonna keep it going. I'm keep the party going. What they say, keep the party going. And I have another new face. I know y'all excited, like, okay, you kind of repeated last season, but I got y'all this season. So I got a new face in the place. Tammy, how you doing?
Well, how are you?
Out here, just doing me. Glad you came to the show. And so we're gonna get this thing started. What I always ask icebreaker questions. Why? Because y'all want to know who Tammy is, right? So let's break this ice. First question of the night. What is your favorite color?
Blue.
Wow, that was easy. I'm gonna have to think about that.
Oh, I hope this is all gonna be this easy.
Why do you love blue?
Oh, there's so much of it.
Okay.
The sky, the ocean. It's just there's so many versions of blue.
Yes.
Baby blue, dark blue, light blue.
Yes.
I've always loved it.
Okay.
Obviously,
you always wear blue. So
I wear it a lot. It's the color in my logo. It's the color of my shirts, and yes, I love blue. But I like purple as a close second.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. It's like jumping off of it.
Yeah.
Second question: if you could channel anyone in the world, who would you be, and why? Ooh, and you have 24 hours to be them, to be this person. Who would it be? Got the wheels rolling.
Living or dead?
Living or dead?
I gotta go with Mother O.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I gotta go with Mother O.
Okay.
Simply because in 24 hours, I think I could document a lot of the knowledge that she has into, number one, I could get those account numbers.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. But I could, more so the knowledge and the relationships that she has to launch my things into the next stratosphere.
That's dope. Okay, so Mother O it is. And the last question that all the new people get: when was the last time
I did something for the first time?
You already know how this goes. So let's go ahead.
Can you tell I've been listening?
I appreciate that. So yeah, everybody gets stumped with that one, but have you been thinking about that?
I have been thinking about it.
Okay, so you got cheat sheet.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I'm gonna say it just was this past week.
Okay.
And that detox transformation I just went on. Yeah, that was the first time I have ever did that.
How was it?
It was amazing.
Okay.
It really was.
A lot of people be like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I'll be able to do that one again.
You know, yesterday when I was like almost halfway through the last bit of my salad, I was like, I can't eat this no more. I'm not a salad girl, and I had salads for 7 straight days. And when I had my first bowl of soup today, the warmth of that soup was like, it was like a salve to my soul. It really was. It just, it was so good. And it probably really wasn't all that good, but it was so good.
Make you appreciate food.
It makes you appreciate warm food too. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I just came off, I guess when you ended my 7-day,
no
food. And the first bite of my melon, I started to sing. And I was just like, I would never take advantage ever again.
Absolutely.
And so it was hard.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, but I was surprised at how well I did. I was surprised at how I enjoyed the real foods. I was surprised how much I got into making my own salad dressings. I'm really enjoying that. I don't know that I'll go back to store-bought salad dressing.
You was getting it.
Yeah.
When I saw you on the FaceTime, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And did you try the mango one?
Yeah.
Is that okay? So between the ranch and the mango. Cause you was a ranch girl. Cause I knew that you was like, I get ranch.
Right. I gotta say the mango. I mean, it's there are differences to it.
Okay.
As far as like So yesterday I had a little bit of both. because
Ooh, yes,
I
okay.
didn't have a ripe mango to make another version of another batch.
Okay,
is the word of the mango version. So I put a little bit of ranch on there too, and it was lovely. So I think I like them both equally.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool beans. So again, congratulations, because the detox is something that you have to be disciplined, because some people give up on the third day, some people give up on the second day, but you completed all 7.
And I lost 16 and a half pounds in a week.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. In a week, right.
Yeah, I just hope it doesn't come back.
Yeah, no, because you're going to actually be more mindful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
with what you eat and and take all in, and then just also too, you'll get full off just a little salad. Your stomach kind of, now you done shrunk your stomach back, and then you kind of like, okay, let me just put this up for later.
Right.
I can do that.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
All right.
Oh,
Time to get into the topic. And I always kind of like try to find topics that you can relate to. Nothing too hard, nothing too strange. There's nothing but something that people would love to hear about. And I always dig on your page and dig and dive. And so I got a little cheat sheet. Okay. And it was 2 quotes that I really loved on your page. One was, "It's never easy, but always worth it." And then the other one was, you had a shirt that said, "I am stronger than." So I want to actually it's going to be a duel. So the first we're going to talk about is never easy, but always worth it. So your question is going to start off with, what has been not easy, but well worth the journey?
What's not been easy, but worth it?
But worth it.
This life.
Oh, we're finna get deep. This life,
this life.
Whole experience.
Yeah, this whole journey of it's not easy. I mean, we have times that we think that, okay, everything's going very smooth, but then something will go wrong in your schedule, like right before I came here, and it's like, oh, this is tough, but but it's worth it. Those sweet times, those rough times make the sweet times so much better.
Yeah.
And there's so many things I could say.
Okay.
I could answer to that. I could say, I could talk about my cancer journey. I could talk about, I was adopted. And I found my birth parents. I could talk about that journey and finding them, and how that was not easy, but it was definitely worth it. Cancer wasn't easy, but it was worth it. Going through the treatment to survive.
So which one do you want to pick from?
Oh my gosh!
We got life. We got stronger. You're strong. It was worth it going through cancer. You made it, and then. Because it's like, those are the main 3 things that we all suffer from, and mentally get incapacitated sometimes from that. So I mean, we can probably hit all of them if you want.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are like, "Ooh, I want to hit that one. Ooh, I want to hit that one." Let's talk about it with the parents. We can start with the parents. How with being adopted? Because my mom was adopted, so I can relate to that. Because I can see what she goes through, and how even today she's just like, I just wish I could find somebody that I can see and say, "Oh, I can see me."
Yeah. It was. I was like that growing up. I mean, I just knew I was, I'd always known. My mom told me, when I was old enough to understand. So I kind of felt like I always knew. But I always had this longing to know. And the scenario that, and they say this in all things, the scenario you make up in your mind is always so much more in depth than what it really is. Because I had concocted all kinds of theories. I was like, it was really my dad, because I look like my uncle and I look like I could be part of this family. So my dad stepped out, and I had ran through all these scenarios that were not the truth. But when I found my birth mother, I had just turned 23.
And she was grown.
Yeah. And I'd looked for her for 7 years. And honestly, it's kind of a neat story. But when I'd given up looking for her. Like I had prayed about it, and I had some friends that had been ministering to me about it, and really was at this place where, because there were other people in my life that, within this like 3-month period before finding her, that found birth families that didn't even know they were adopted. Like one guy had no idea, you know, his father wasn't his real father, and he was reproached by his real father. And then this other person, her birth family showed up, and it was just kind of like, I was going, God, what is it? You know, why are you showing this? Why are you putting this in my face? Right. You know, it was almost like it was being rubbed in my face, but you know, you're not going to find her.
Right.
And it was just kind of like, oh my gosh. And so, you know, the quick version of it all was that, you know, these friends prayed with me, and that night I laid it down and I was like, God, if this is meant to be, you'll do it.
Okay.
Fia, I kid you not, 7 days later I was talking to her on the phone after 7 years.
That 7 is something strong.
7 is very strong. Wow. And it happened just like that. It was
like a flow.
Oh my gosh. And it was so easy. And when I met her, she was, you know, she had been going through a cancer battle of her own. And her family and friends often said that, you know, I gave her the will to kind of push forward because she never had any other kid. Well, she had a son a year after she had me, but he died during the birth. So I was the only one. I was the only niece. I was the only grandchild.
Oh, wow.
I was the only, on her side.
Okay, yeah.
Now, my father was a differerent story.
Okay. That's another season.
That's a whole nother season. Yeah, a whole nother season. Papa was a Rolling Stone. But yeah, it was, you know, it was amazing. Honestly, the biggest lesson in it all for me was that, you know, my mother and I sort of had a bit of a tumultuous, you know, time as some teenagers go through and young adults with their parents. Mm-hmm. But when I met my birth mother, I realized what I had in my mother. And it drew us so much closer. And she is my heart now. So when a lot of times people will be like, so when you say your mom, and I'm like, no, I'm talking about my mom.
Yeah.
My mom. I will.
You got double the mom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I will clarify, you know, if it's birth mother. Okay. But it's but yeah. And so I was grateful because she was in my life for 10 years. Okay. She passed away 10 years after I met her. And yeah, so I got to know her, got to know the family. I'm still in contact with one of my aunts who lives in Colorado, and she's awesome. Okay. And it's just been neat to see how that relationship has developed in the last several years. And so, yeah, it wasn't easy. Even the time that knowing her, it wasn't easy because she wanted to be mom. Yeah. Like she wanted me to call her mom, and she was, you know, and it was just like yeah, and so
I'll work on it.
Yeah, and my mom, the incredible woman that she is, was like, you know, just call her mother, just say it, you know, just say it. You know, it doesn't negate my relationship with you or lessen that.
That's understanding.
Yeah, she's so secure in who she is that you know, it's just like
she played a big role in leading you. To that. So did you see features? Did you see like, oh, okay, I see why when I make that face, I can see that.
I have her hands.
Okay.
I absolutely have her hands, and I saw that right off the bat. My birth father, all of his kids have his eyes.
Okay.
So
that's what you had. Okay,
yeah, I always joke that she stunted my growth because he was 6'6", and so and she was like 4'11".
Oh
and I was like.
Sorry.
No, I take that back. My mom is 4'11" and a half, but she was 5'2".
Okay.
But still, she, you know.
It still kind of short. It's okay.
Yeah, it was just kind of like.
It's okay.
Yeah, I could have been tall. Anyway, when I'm reaching for stuff in the cabinet, I'm like, okay. You know, I use that spoon to pull stuff. Go get the spoon. I have my ways.
You get it done. You get it done.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that feeling of, I know on the phone it's different, but actually seeing her. Do you remember that, like that feeling? Oh
yeah, absolutely. I remember the drive there, the
day.
In
your head, what you thinking?
Oh my gosh.
See,
So this was pre-cell phone days, so you know I'm a little old. So I drove there. Okay. And because she lived in Iowa. Okay. And so I was driving there from St. Louis. Okay. And before I went. The day I left, I went and to stop by my mom's job before I left, and I took her a dozen roses. And, you know, just kind of like, you'll always be my mom. And I asked her, if you don't want me to do this, I won't go. And she was like, no, you have to. And so, and then I drove. And so, like I said, pre-cell phone days, I stopped at the last rest area before I got into Cedar Rapids and called on the payphone and was like, are you sure? And she was like, Tammy, go. You've gone this far, just go. And I was so nervous. And I remember pulling in the driveway and her coming out, and it was just kind of like, wow. Yeah.
This is happening.
It was happening. It was crazy. And then 2 days later, I met my birth father. And
it flowed.
Yeah,
it was like
it
boom,
happened
boom, boom.
very quickly. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my goodness. So what would have been the I know the worthy part of actually seeing them and being with them. That journey you said was the hardest. But were you told, you said when you were younger. So did you battle through some things when you were younger with thinking about why did she, you know, do that? Why did she, you know, let somebody else raise me, not her?
Absolutely. I mean, I battled a lot with that because I knew I was biracial. You know, I knew she was white. Well, I kind of figured that, but you know, when I met her, the worth it part was, as much as I did love her, she couldn't have raised me. I would not have been
who you are today.
I would not have been nothing like, I might not have even been alive if she had raised me.
And a lot of times people don't think about that. They don't think about that.
I don't think I would have liked the person I would have been if she had raised me.
That's deep.
Yeah.
For you to actually take that perspective.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Man.
My family that I'm a part of is absolutely amazing. And I wouldn't trade them for anything in the world. I mean, they love me. They accept me just who I am. And they, you know, every family has their things. But it's, you know, man, I wouldn't want to be anything other than a Johnson. Yeah, for real.
Come on with the Johnson.
Yeah.
And I think for me, because I would like to answer this, the journey has been hard, but worth it. And I think it would be raising a daughter. Y'all moms, I love y'all so much. I mean, listen, if you need me, call me, because it has been hard, but worth it. Even though, I'm a female and some things, you know, my mom taught me, but this is different. Like the social media, the access they have, you know, and the different things that's been happening to different girls. It's kind of like I'm Mama Bear times 1,000. But it's been worth it because now I can actually see her develop into something way better than me, because that's what I wanted to be, better than me. And she has options, because I didn't have options. It was go to school, go to work, come home, and that was it, you know. And now she has more options, more opportunities. So that has, I think, has been like my, man, I would do it again. Yeah. I
wish I would have. Yeah, absolutely. I don't have any children of my own. I've not yet. I'm gonna say that like that. Not yet. Because adoption, I hope, is in my future. But oh wow. Yeah, there's so many kids out here that need somebody to just believe in them and love on them and give them a home. And so I really,
the belief is a good one. To believe that you can be anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can be anything. The journey's still not over, even after they turn 18.
Oh, yeah.
I still call my mom.
Listen, I'm 52. I call my mother every day. Every day, sometimes several times a day. A lot of times she's like, girl, what do you want?
Did we just talk? Yes. I forgot something to tell you. Exactly. I just want to hear your voice one more time.
Exactly. And because I know so many people have lost their mother, and they, you long to see the word mom pop up on your phone. Oh, man. And it's like, and so that's part of the reason that, I'm in Arizona right now. And so it's just, she's 82. She's still, listen, she's still fire. But she's, I just...
Can't play with her.
No. No, ma'am. Diva of the divas. Okay? The diva. Is that a word?
Yeah. We're going to choose at least one today.
Yeah.
So she's giving the heat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Wow.
So I want to enjoy as much time with her as I can while I can. Yeah. And while she's still, spry.
Moving and grooving.
Yeah. Acting up. you know.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. I posted something not long ago that was like, is anybody else having a hard time raising their mama? It was like, that gal don't listen. You know, it's like when they get to a certain age, you become the parent almost. And it's just like, no, you can't go there. You cannot do that. You know what it's like?
Are you even thinking, woman?
Yeah. And she'll be like, yes, mama. And I'm like, don't do me like that. You know.
I do that with my mama. I do that with my mama all the time. Are you eating? Are you drinking water? You know, I pop in on her at her job. I do the same thing. And she just be like, I am the mom. Sometimes you be kind of acting up a little bit. I have to make sure.
That gal don't listen.
No. I guess, is that how we going to be? You're not listening?
Probably.
It may be. It may happen that way.
Your baby going to be saying that one day.
She already look out for me.
Listen.
If I don't come home by 11:30, she's calling. It's your curfew. What's going on? Why you ain't here yet? You good?
Not your curfew.
I tracked you. It said you supposed to be. You ain't heading this way. You heading the opposite way. What's wrong? I'm like, girl, go to bed.
I did that to my mother one time. I have find my iPhone on her phone, and she and her friends were going to California, and they stopped at this gas station, and I'm like looking to see where that. She was like, "Oh yeah, we just stopped," and I was like, "Oh yeah, y'all at that exit over there." I blew it up, and I was like, "Yeah, at the exit over there with the Carl Jr. right there," and she was just like. And she's telling her, how does she know where we're at? She had no idea about 5 miles. It was hilarious.
We gotta look out for them.
Oh yeah,
because some kind of it's like they go backwards. We want to try to be young and do things that we was used to doing, but no, we ain't finna have that at all. So the second segue into it is the cancer that you beat and you're stronger than. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So the journey was hard, but worth it.
Yeah, it was absolutely hard, but very worth it. I was 32 when I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Okay.
And it was very young. It was a very aggressive form of breast cancer. And it was one of those things where for months I was kind of going, I guess I can kind of talk candidly on here because, folks be cussing and stuff.
They do.
And, I might, I like to cuss, so I might, no, I'm just kidding. But I was looking at my breast and I was like, man, my breast looks funny. And I thought, because I'm real light, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, sometimes it might be a little red or whatever. And I'm like, not thinking anything about it. And I had just started a business, and I had looking back, if you look at the stressor list of things, I had almost every box checked. I had gone through a breakup. I had moved. I had started a business. My grandfather passed away that March. My stepfather passed away that April.
That's already like
and I got diagnosed that May. And but I remember seeing, a few signs where I thought, man, is that, and it was just kind of like, nah, it's nothing, young, just moving and grooving. Yeah. After a while, one morning I remember looking in the mirror and my nipple had inverted. Okay. And I was like, okay, that ain't supposed to happen. And I was like, something wrong.
Okay.
So I reached out to a friend who put me in contact with her OBGYN who was like, you just need to go to this place. And she sent me to this place in St. Louis called the Cancer and Breast Institute at that time. It's been bought out by another hospital. Okay. It's been 20 years. FYI, I just hit 20 years in May.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Got the tattoo to prove it.
Yeah, I know. It's so cold. Yeah. It's the best tattoo. It's the cutest. Because you got our input. We was like, maybe this and maybe that. Yep. So I was part of that
Absolutely.
journey.
Absolutely. Went to the same place I got my first tattoo.
Oh, wow.
20 years later, because I got my first one right after I finished treatment.
It's a full circle.
And so it was like a full circle moment. So it was amazing. But I went to this particular place. I tried to make an appointment. The doctor that was supposed to see me wasn't available, and so they put me with another doctor who was phenomenal. And I was so glad that I ended up getting with her. And the team, it was a really unique place because everybody was in one building. Okay. So you had your surgeon, you had your oncologist.
That's normal. That normal. You had to go through 2 different.
Yeah, you had your radiation doctor, and you did your radiation and chemo, same building. Everything was done in that same facility, and they had social workers there to help people through different things. It was all one-stop shop, and so I was so lucky.
I know.
And So anyway, I had the best team of doctors. I mean, they were amazing. And yeah, so they aggressively went after it. I've had a total of 3 surgeries, had 6 months of chemo and 2.5 months of radiation. And I beat it. And, you know, yeah, way back then, as, you know, it's because it was touch and go there for a minute, you know, and
it always
yeah, and it was
a ride,
you know, and I look back and there's things I would have done differently.
Okay.
But you know, really the only, you know, effects that I still carry from it that I'm aware of. I mean, I know that there are some things that radiation is the gift that keeps on giving, so I'm still feeling some things from that that I often don't equate to the radiation, but
that's what it
is,
from.
yeah. And but you know, one is my lymphedema, and then I have to wear a prosthetic. So, but again, tough journey, but you know, worth it to be a survivor because you know, once you beat something, it's like they say, it's that C word. You know, it's like when you hear someone tell you you have cancer, that it changes your whole everything. And no matter what stage it's in, you know, I was walking into stage 3 when received my diagnosis, and I was in surgery within a week. That's how quickly they moved on me.
Moved you quick.
Yeah. And so it was, and again, this was 20 years ago. It's so much has transpired since then, and how they do things. And so for them to do what they did for me back then, it was really cutting edge. But, you know, it's like I said, it's worth it because now, you know I can stand strong and say, you know, I beat that. And if you can beat, there was a quote that I loved, and I used to keep it. You remember we used to have CDs and we had the little book, and I used
slides.
To keep, I still got one somewhere, you know. But somewhere.
You and all my junk, the marker,
right on it. But I had this saying that I had cut out from a magazine and I put on the front of it, and I'm going to totally destroy it. But it was something like, you know, once you've heard that you have those words, you have cancer, even the most, you know, ferocious of boss, the most dire of circumstances, you know, any of those things, nothing can compare to that. And so all that other stuff just seems like, meh, you know, because... You know,
this is what I came through.
Absolutely.
And a lot of, especially when you see a lot of times where it's taking people out, because I've had my dad that passed away from cancer and my brother. So it's kind of like when you hear that, it's kind of like you start thinking about who else I know that has passed away. Like I believe that's the first thought, because my brother's like, who else have I, you know? And then you start going through mental, and then your mental start doing stuff to the body, and then the body starts doing stuff and outward. It's kind of like a train trickle effect.
Absolutely. I mean, I could count on, you know, I can lose count. Yeah, absolutely. The number of friends that I know, you know, I just lost a friend not even 2 weeks ago that, you know, has been battling for years. Not just breast cancer, but others. You know, I think pancreatic is finally what got her. But, you know, she was a warrior. I mean, she has lived some years through this. And so, yeah, it's a lot of people out here fighting a battle that we know nothing about. At all. And, you know, it's why it pays to be kind. You know, it really does.
And so when going through that, do you believe you had a good support team as far as family and friends? Because a lot of people, you know, we go through it alone. A lot of people do go through sickness and diseases alone, but as far as having the support, do you think also, too, that kind of helped in your process?
Oh, absolutely.
And you know, that's a whole different ball game, having people in your corner.
Absolutely. I had good and bad. I had a great support team. But I also had a couple people that cut and ran. Like so remember I said right before I got diagnosed, I had just gone through a breakup. Well, it was kind of one of those breakups, but you still kind of,
I'm check in. I'm how you doing? You good?
No, not that kind of,
not that kind of check-in. Let me get my water. Not that kind of check-in.
Not that kind of check-in.
That other check-in.
That other kind of check-in with benefits. Okay. Where it was still kind of something going on, but when the diagnosis came, they cut and ran. And later found out that they were using me as an excuse, like to get off work, like telling their boss they were doing stuff with me. Wow. And, it was one of those kind of things. You had a good and bad type of experience with
it
was that, but my friends showed up. My friends, my family showed up. I had friends that 3 of them that were there in the room when I got my I went in for the information as far as like, here's what is going on, here's what you have. Okay. So I had 3 that were in there for that, and they all came to the first chemo. I have, gosh, this leads to what's amazing right now. But those friends walked through the whole process with me, and they made me do things and you know, get out of the house and those kinds of things. And my family, and my family, man, they had me. They had my back like they always do. But one friend in particular who lived here in Nashville, so I had moved from Nashville back home to St. Louis, and a dear friend that was here who was vet gave me a Yorkie with my first chemo treatment. And oh my gosh, I saw this picture the other day that was just like, we had this shady looking van on it, and it said like free Yorkies on the side, and it was like, if I ever get kidnapped, this is what happened, you know. It's like one of those things, like I'd do anything for a Yorkie. Yeah, it's like, what you got in here, you know? So but yeah, she gave me a Yorkie. His name was Deacon. He was named after my grandfather, who had died those 2 months before, who was a little man, but a big man, you know, as far as like, he used to be a bouncer back in his day. Yeah. He was one, Yeah, he was one of them.
Show up, I'm coming to get you. You come down the street, you know what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. And so I, you know, wanted a little dog with a big personality, and that's just what I got. And so I named him Deacon after my grandfather. And I had Deacon for almost 16 years. And he was
a trooper.
Yeah, he was my heart and soul. He was my boy. Everybody knew him. He went to family reunions. Like, everybody knew Deacon. Maybe a little bit.
Okay.
Once or twice. He had a little polo and would pop his collar, but Deacon was wild. Deacon was like, he would be down the street at the liquor store and stuff. Like, he was out of control. He had no clue he was a dog. He really didn't.
I think that's what happened.
None at all.
So that got you through, because having something like a innate dog sense.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And she took care of everything he needed while I was in treatment. So, you know, I didn't have to worry about, you know, his shots or any of that kind of stuff. And so he was, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, my friends that, you know, supported me through that were amazing. And so the worth it part comes into play in my purpose, because I believe that my purpose is intertwined with that, because I've just recently launched Deacons Destiny, which is a nonprofit that aims to provide Yorkies to breast cancer patients. Now, I know it'll grow beyond breast cancer, and I know it'll grow beyond Yorkies.
Yes.
But, you know, that's the basis behind it.
Yeah.
And what I aim to do is to, you know, provide that to other people, you know, going through. So, yeah.
And it's going to segue into, how can they find you on Facebook? And then they like, what?
Yeah.
So how can they find you on social media?
Oh, so Deacons Destiny, you can find on just that, Deacons Destiny on Instagram. I think it's Deacons_Destiny. And Facebook as well, and on Twitter. But I'm just Tammy Johnson on Facebook. I think I'm Tammy.J22 on Instagram. I think so. And so
hit her up, support.
Yes, please do.
This is a cause that, like I said, with anything that you need somebody or anything to get you through that journey, so it can be worth it. You can look back, you know. And I see how you do that full circle. You're offering that service, because it's kind of like, I never would have thought about that. A puppy can help me through this. A puppy can help me through that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you can actually tell your story and tell your testimony and your journey with how Deacon, on those days, even if you don't feel like playing, we playing today.
Oh, I had to get out of the bed to take him outside. I had to get up and feed him, you know. And even if I was, you know, those days after chemo where you're just like laid out, I still got to get up and take him out, you know.
So and he still pushed you. So he's like, we gonna still get up.
And that love that, you know, you get from an animal. I mean, not everybody's animal people, but some people are, and dogs know.
They do.
They really do. And they've got this unconditional love that no matter what, they're still gonna love you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
And so when it comes to life and when it comes to this journey, I see you got on crystals.
Yeah.
You know, and I have my earrings on today. everybody finds their thing when, you know, we're going through life. And we kind of like do a little curveball, and people, you know, wearing stones, and it has a meaning, it has a purpose, and it has a healing purpose behind it too. So what has been your journey with your stones and your today?
It's an awakening I'm going through right now.
Yes.
I think is the way to classify that.
Okay.
I am I'm growing into myself. Through this pandemic, it really became evident to me that I needed to get out of my head some and start, because I live in my head so deeply. I mean, I'm constantly, thinking, oh my gosh. Thing. It's 1,000 things going through there at one time, and so I reached out and started seeing a counselor.
Okay.
And, because I was like,
a lot of people don't do that. We as a culture don't.
No, we don't. But
somebody offers to do say what? And talk about what?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm good.
But listen, the first one I picked, she was perfect for me. And she has been amazing. Oh my gosh. And so I started talking to her about, crystals and Reiki and some of those things. And she was just like, yeah, okay. She goes, I can't leave with this, but now that you bring it up. And so she's all about, so we have the great conversations in my sessions. And it's funny because she's always like, man, I really look forward to our sessions because we have such great conversations, but she's so moved at the work that I'm doing right now because I just want to be better. I always just want to be the best version of Tammy that I can be. And if I can, I'm a servant at heart, and that's a lot of what my initial business is, is serving people. I'm a personal concierge by day, and
we're gonna go into night, too.
And whenever, and whenever. But my business is called Always at Your Service, so it's like, and maybe I should have said 9 to 5 at your service. I don't know, just kidding. But I want to be better. And so taking that journey to learn and utilize some of the tools that are at our disposal, like Reiki. I did my first, before I did this detox, my last time I did something for the first time was about to be the yoni steam, because, that was an experience.
Yes.
But I've been experiencing new things. I'm a huge fan of floating. I'm a huge fan of, you got to do that. I'm a huge fan of, experiencing new things.
Yeah, it's about that.
Yeah, because
Coming
it's like, I want to try something, everything at least once, sometimes twice, it's just, so my journey is just that, I'm trying to just try on new things and see how it feels.
Yeah.
I got the stones just like a week and a half ago, and I'm loving them. And I have found myself in times when things are getting a little stressful or something, sitting here and just holding it. And I'm like, I'm not replacing, because I'm also a very spiritual person, and I ain't replacing God or Jesus with any of that, because I still pray and I still, but I believe that God has put these things here, and He created this earth. So everything that He created is good, right? So because it's good and He created it, it's all, everything, as the scripture says, works together for our good. So it's all going to work together to help us be, better and the best versions of ourselves. And so I love listening to podcasts when I'm driving back and forth between Arizona and Nashville. I do that. I love going and spending time in Sedona, which,
we gotta go.
Come on.
We gotta make it with the vortex.
Yes, absolutely.
We gotta make it there.
Yeah, for sure. And so I just want to continue to, grow and be the best I can be, so that I can be what I can be. That is not making sense. Hold on. Let me back that up. I want to be the best version of myself, so that I can help others be their best version.
Yes.
If that makes sense. And I can't pour into a cup if I'm empty. And I had been doing that for so long. I had nothing left for me. And what I have learned through this whole pandemic and this time that this last year and a half has been, with me being kind of between Nashville and Arizona is that, you know, Tammy's got to be a priority.
Yes. First.
Yeah, because if I'm, you know, if I'm not, then I have nothing for my mother. I'm snapping at her. I'm snapping at the others in my life that I love. I'm being, and it's like snapping at the cashier, the girl in the drive-through, you know, all that kind of stuff. Just give me my money. You know, I don't want, that's not who I am, but there are times I've acted out like that and I'm so embarrassed. And I've gone back and apologized to people before.
That's what's up. Because, people don't.
Yeah, because it's just like, because you don't know what that person's going through, and me acting out may be the last thing that person needs before they decide to take their life.
Oh, that's
you know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
And so we have to really think about those things, because I don't know what that girl has gone through today.
Right, and he's snapping on her at the line, and she like, okay, yep, that's my sign. Boom, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly.
And so a lot of people, we have to think for others, and that's what we're here for. And I had a moment on Facebook.
I'd had a lot of moments on Facebook recently.
I was in a bed, like it was 2-3 o'clock. I normally don't be in the bed that long, and I was just thinking to myself, like, I'm here for a reason. I'm here to help. But then why am I feel like I can do everything by myself? So reaching out and, you know, talking to people and, you know, knowing when I'm not having a good day, you know, that had to really the click in my head. Like, Fee, you can't do this by yourself. And that's so sad to think that we've been raised to thinking we can do everything. We don't need help. We don't need to be refilled. We good. We just keep going on empty.
Oh yeah, we as black women especially.
Yeah. Oh, we keep. We gotta do it. Gotta happen. So I gotta do it. But then at the end of the day, that's when we started getting sick and we started stressing out, and then we started, like you said, snapping on people and not being our best versions for others to look up to. Because we are here to help each other. Like reach out and. But you can't reach out with an attitude because nobody want to grab your hand. Oh.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I don't want to touch you. What you just yelled at me.
Right, exactly.
I'm trying to help you. No, you're not. I'm good. I'm going to go this way.
For real.
So we always have to remember that in the forefront, like, what are we here for? What is your passion? What are you doing to help somebody else?
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of people think is when we, you know, our transition, if they say Felicia Evans, what are they going to say about you? I remember in high school she was mean. What? I don't want that. You know, at least have something that people can say, man, I remember when she helped me do this. Well, I remember when she didn't even ask me for no money, but she showed up. You know, I remember when I was on my I was sleeping. I didn't want to get up out the bed till they came and knocking on my door. So that is something that you want to be remembered, something good, because that's what God put us here for, to help each other.
We're created for relationship. And if we can't have relationship with one another, and that's not just to be in a relationship. It's a relationship, you know.
Friendships.
You know, with him, with her, however you want to, you know, the universe, whatever you choose to identify God as. But we're here for that relationship. We're here for this relationship with ourselves, most importantly, with, you know, one another, and even those strangers that we come into contact with. I mean, I've got, you know, interactions that I used to travel for like 17 years. I spent 17 years on the road doing experiential marketing, and I was in a different city every week and eating in restaurants all the time. And I had so many
people.
Oh my gosh. And I had so many random interactions that still are very relevant to me today. You know, that's like, oh, I remember that time where, you know, this person in the restaurant said this to me, or you know.
It's something that you probably needed that right then and right there. Like, this person don't even know me. I'm in a whole different city, but God knew to put that person there to say, I need to tell you this message, or we need to have this conversation.
Absolutely.
So you can just remember it and go on, because those little pebbles, it's kind of like breadcrumbs. So you can actually go back and reach back to it. Oh, I remember when, to keep you stronger, and because like you said, this journey with life.
Yeah.
We know there's no rule book, and people say that if you actually tap into astronomy, it's not astronomy. The stars. Am I saying
astronomy?
Astronomy. You can actually get your blueprint of how life is. You know, if you actually get your birth chart.
Ooh, I need to do that.
Yeah, it's like a snapshot, and you have to like dig deep into it. And I'm actually waiting on the reading Ashley now. This lady, she was booked all the way up until like September.
So check this out.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah, so I found out. I don't know, of course, you know, you only know what people tell you.
Yeah. Okay, so you research it.
So based upon what my birth mother told me. Okay. So evidently, and you would know this as a doula, evidently, like, women used to carry their kids 10 months is the norm. So I was evidently one of those babies.
Okay.
I was conceived the night Martin Luther King was killed. Yeah. And when my birth mother told me that, it was just like, and then the stories, you know, surrounding my birth. So my birth mother, I mentioned before, had a son a year after she had me.
Yeah, right.
He died during the birth from the umbilical cord being wrapped around his neck.
Oh, wow.
When I got my birth records that's a whole nother podcast.
How'd you get that? Yes.
When I got those birth records, it said that as well, that the umbilical cords were wrapped around my neck 3 times tightly. So the enemy was trying to take me out from jump. And I always felt that there was something significant around the fact that my conception was based, you know, the night that a man that, you know,
had
stood.
An impact.
Yeah. And like when he left. Now I ain't trying to say I'm going to say
no.
Don't say that. Don't put that on me. But
that's what they say, reincarnation. You gotta get speckles of certain
but
to make an impact.
But I know that I have always been the kind of person that, and my friends and family will say this, that I've been a person like a conduit. Like I've always connected people. Like, you know, you need to meet this person because you two, you know, and I have always had that ability to where I'm bringing people together. You know, even in college and, you know, high school, you know,
it was your thing.
Yeah, it was
you want to know who? Don't talk to him. Talk to him. Go down the hallway. Classroom.
Yeah, she knows somebody. My client told me today. I was like, "Oh, you got to see my girl." You always got a girl. You know, it's like, yeah, you need. It's like, what you need? I got you. I almost called my business. I got you. Because it is. It's like, what you need?
What you need? I got you. Speaking of your business, please let's go into, because I know they wondering. I like to keep y'all puzzled a little bit. Wondering what it is that you do when it comes to your concierge service.
Oh, I do everything. Literally, there has been no request too strange. I chicken sat one time. Some lady called me and she had chickens and she was like, "We have a dog. We want you to," because I dog sit.
Okay.
I do. You
that's
know.
Normal.
Yeah, yeah, that's normal. But she was like, "But we got some chickens and we have this one chicken that's on hospice. You know, it should have died like 6 years ago. But you know, but here's a bag in the freezer if something would happen to it." And I was like, "For real?" You know.
You're joking, right?
She was so serious. She was so serious. But, you know, and I loved it. Now I want chickens. I got to have me some chickens. When I get a house, I've already said, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know. No. But I want some chickens.
Okay.
Because it was so much fun. I was like, yeah, fresh eggs. Those eggs are the jam. That's true. And so
it's kind of like having a puppy. Do you have to go out and feed them with the?
You gotta go feed them, yeah, and go get those eggs every day. But you know, I had a little crash course in the chicken sitting, which was fun. But I digress. Anyway, you know, I have a client that has horses. I provide transportation. Okay, that's right. And I do. Oh my goodness, excuse me. I do personal assistant services. I manage a couple people's calendars. Service. Yeah, I mean, I have an MBA and I also have a master's in leadership, so I can do high level stuff. Okay. But I can also just go get your groceries or take your dog to the vet. You've got an appointment all day and you need somebody to, you know, just go pick up your dry cleaning. You know, I've done deliveries for some local businesses here in Nashville. Okay. I also, I do a little bit of everything.
So you kind of like, she's like 500 notches above Uber. You know, Uber, they go get food, go get people. Like she adds on to that. And so with friendly customer service.
Customer service is everything.
All of that, I know a guy, to know a girl. You need something.
Absolutely. And the transportation end of it has been my most, I'm really considering branching off just into that because I have a Class A CDL, so I used to drive semis, and so
what I'm
incredibly, I know, for real.
Build houses.
I haven't done that. I want to.
We need to get together because that's the one thing I need to learn.
Yeah, I want to learn how to do that too. Yeah. But I built a porch once.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know how to build. Okay.
Yeah.
We get together.
Anyway, I did the transportation you know, I'm a very safe driver and I'm very particular about safety on the road. And because so quickly you can change the trajectory of someone's life by being careless. Yep. And so nothing irks me more than somebody being careless. And I will often honk at people if I see them on their phone just because, you know, I'm like, come on, you know, you could completely disrupt my life, somebody else's life. You could take somebody's life
in 1 second,
and you could just pull over and do what you got to do, or it can wait.
It can wait.
Yeah, for
That's
real.
one thing.
But pick up people's kids, because see, you can't put your kid in an Uber or Lyft,
No.
And nor should you.
Don't do it.
I have a client her brother has Down syndrome, and they were my first full-time client.
Oh wow!
And man, I love this little guy so much. He's goes to a day school.
Okay.
And so I would pick him up because they live pretty far out, and so and her job was kind of in between their home and where he goes to school. So I would pick him up, take him to her job, and so when she got off work, all she had to do was just go home. And I did that several days a week. But the part that I loved the most with him was that, so I like to add on extras that people don't expect.
And that's the key. That is the key.
It doesn't cost me a thing, or it may, if it does, it's very minimal. And so he loves Tootsie Rolls. And so I would always have Tootsie Rolls in the car for him when he would get in, and he would jump in looking for them. But the thing he loved the most, we just had dinner with him a couple weeks ago, and he was like, we were talking about that, and he was like, the music. The best thing he loved was he would get in the car, and I would say, what do you want to listen to today? And he would tell me, and then I would tell Siri to play it.
Yeah.
And he would sometimes say something to Siri too, and I'm like, she's not gonna listen to you, but I'll tell her. And Siri would play this, and he loved it, and he would jam, and he'd be sitting over there like rocking out. Oh my gosh, it was the experience, and he loved that, and it made all the difference. And
small thing.
It didn't cost me a dime. And every time he got in my car, no matter what I was dealing with, my spirit just went up. Yeah, because I really believe they're the gifted ones in this life, because they don't have a care, and they're just enjoying life to the fullest. And to be, we look at people like that, may say that they're disadvantaged or something. We're the ones.
And I always say they're normal.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Being in a house raised with, people with mental health illnesses, it was normal to me and my brother. We were just like, oh, okay, my uncle talked to himself. That's what he do. It's normal. And, a lot of people got talked about because of that, but we was the kids that played with the kids like that. Because, this is normal. What y'all talking about?
Right, exactly.
So, all right, I'm supposed to ask you, are you open to take more clients? But you got a lot going on.
I'm always open. I'm always open.
I'm trying to reach out to get that service.
Yeah, I'm always open. I'm trying to duplicate myself. Honestly, I need to find somebody that has a passion for customer. You already got 15 jobs. Yeah. I need people that have that same type of mindset. Yeah, that because I can't have anybody pulling up with an attitude. I can't have anybody driving irresponsibly. I can't have anybody just treating anybody any kind of way, because that's my brand. It's like it's my pleasure to serve you. So what can I I can't.
You have many Tammys.
Yeah, that's what I need. And I often said I should go get a PhD in how to coin or recreate customer service like it used to be.
It needs to be a whole training.
Oh, I can't stand. I will walk out of a place if somebody greets me incorrectly. Yeah. Like I've gone in to buy shoes before, and people be like, "Yeah," and I'm like, I'm done. You're not getting my money. I worked too hard for my money to spend it with you, and you don't appreciate it.
Appreciate me even walking in today.
Absolutely.
Especially when nobody's in the store.
And that's a lot of the reason I started the business, was because it was just like, there's got to be a better way,
To help people with a smile.
Absolutely. And people need that right-hand person. If you're a speaker and you're traveling to different events, and you may not be able to afford a personal assistant, a full-time personal assistant, then you can hire me for blocks of time or so much time a month. I put people on retainer, and they get 10, 20 hours a month with me, or whatever they need. I can do it virtually. I'm traveling back and forth right now because I'm also trying to launch in Phoenix.
Okay.
As well. And of course my mama's out there, and so but I'm always ready for more customers, honestly. I'll make it work.
Hit her up. Yeah. On Facebook, Tammy Johnson. Hit her up.
Yes, please do.
Please do. So and so the last two questions we have for the evening is when it comes to life, when it comes to how to deal, how to maneuver, how you've been like, shooting shots and winning and dunking out here in these streets. What is some advice you can give that person that may be where you were 20, 25 years ago? Like, what is something that you can actually tell that man, that woman today?
Wow. It's so cliche, but this is a gift. Life is a gift. Take full advantage of it, and enjoy every day to the fullest.
Yeah.
I would also say you're worth it, and put yourself first, which is something I'm also saying to myself.
Yeah, we say it to ourselves. Like I say to me all the time too.
Yeah, exactly. Put yourself first and make yourself a priority with your health, your mental health, your spiritual health, all of it. Nobody's going to take care of you like you're going to take care of you. And if we don't take care of ourselves, we can expect other people to step in and do for us, like we would have. And so that would be my advice, take full advantage. There's so much I wish I would have done, like I often say, I miss my calling. I should have been a vet, but I'm like, I'm way, because I love animals, and I'm not going back to school at this age. No, ma'am. I got too much student loan debt as it is. So come on, Biden. I need you to come through. So,
I'm saying the same thing.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, take full advantage of it. Play this thing hard out. I intend to, as they say, I intend to come screeching in with the wheels falling off, car raggedy, everything, and be like, yeah, that was fun.
2 wheels.
Yeah, absolutely, for real.
Because I always, the guy I used to work with when we did catering, he was like, you got one train ticket, and it's one way. You got a train ticket one way. You get your scenery, but if you sleeping on that train, if you arguing on that train, you're going to miss everything that you could possibly, the stops, when they make the breaks, because you internal, you're inside the train. You're not even realize how fast the thing is going, how slow it's going.
Right.
So you have to be alive, awakened to be able to know, take advantage of this moment. Like right now, knowing that we're here, we're friends, we chilling. I'm not worried about what I gotta do when I get home. I'm not worried about just being in a moment. A lot of people, we don't do that. We either in the past or we worried about tomorrow.
Yeah, be present.
Yes, being present is the most thing that everybody we miss out on. So being present. And your final question of the
I'm gonna tag one on that last one. Travel as much as you can.
You love to
as
travel
often as you can. Yeah, I've done the states. I got 2 more states to hit.
Okay, what are those 2?
Hawaii and Alaska.
Okay.
And the rule is I have to sleep there.
Okay.
So I've slept in every other state.
Wow.
But the rule is you got to sleep there.
Okay.
For me, but but I'm ready to do other lands. I'm ready to travel abroad. So
man,
passport gonna need to be renewed. I ain't got no stamps. So anyway,
and you gotta get them filled. We gotta get them filled up with the stamps. But traveling, and a lot of people think in traveling too that it's expensive. You can actually, if you plan ahead, save your money, and you can actually go. We did 2 trips within 2 months. 2 years ago, Paris and Brazil. And I didn't think I could do it. I was like, we're gonna figure this thing out. But we came back home living. Like a lot of people go on trips and then they don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Don't come back home with that stress. No. Yeah, for real.
All right, and the final question when it comes to life, what is the main thing that you, when it comes to self-care and mental wellness, that you do and that you would suggest other people do to keep them focused and keep them giving love back to themselves?
I got a list of stuff.
Let's get 4. Let's get 4 things that you would suggest as far as self-care.
I'm going to say Reiki.
Okay.
I'm going to say float.
Okay.
Meditation. And, I gotta go with getting a massage.
Oh.
I used to do that for myself often, and I haven't as of late. But I'm trying other things. So, those
4.
Find something you love and
you gotta
do it.
Try it too. Just try it one time.
Yeah, try stuff. Find what you like and do it often. Do it often. Make that as you budget your your expenses, put something in there for self-care.
For you.
Yeah, I mean, if it's bubble baths, do that. If it's,
walks.
Yeah, walks, whatever.
It's a simple thing.
It's walks. Buy you some good shoes.
Yeah.
For walking.
Walking in. See, that's the thing. You're going shopping and buying yourself something at the end of the day. I think for my 4, it would be hanging with friends, people you trust.
Yeah, that too.
Like community, getting together just to shoot the shit and just talking, laughing, breaking bread. I would say that would be 1. Number 2, find something in your childhood that caused you to be like the happiest thing ever. Like no one could, when you was zoned in that thing, no one could wake you up out of it. Mine's coloring. I love to color. That's my thing because it helps me tap into, because me and my dad used to color together. So that made me tap into the coloring. And I would say number 3 would be the meditation. A lot of people think meditation, I got to clear my mind. You don't. Just think about it, focus on something that you love. And if it's a color, and as long as you just think about that one thing and not outside of that one thing, that'll be, you've done a lot. You've done a lot. And I would say number 4 would be getting outside.
Oh yeah.
Getting outside more.
Earthing.
Earthing.
Put your bare feet in the grass.
Right there.
It'll change your life.
Whole life. Hug trees. That's what I do. I hug trees.
Oh, I haven't done that.
Hugging trees is so grounding.
Ooh.
Oh my God. Jaleese was looking at me like, what are we doing? It's ants, mama. And I'm just like, I'm hugging the ants too. But so it is getting outside in nature more. So those you gave you 8. A total of 8 things to get out and do. And none of them, most of them was free. Hanging out with friends, you can just have somebody come over, y'all just together or something. Free thing, so you don't have, it's like people are like, oh, I'm worried about money. Just getting outside, having a blanket, making you a little lunch like you used to back in the day, just sitting outside. So, this has been awesome.
Did it?
You did it. And it's, when you come in and get talking and then have your conversation, hanging with friends, it gets easy. Especially we, reaching somebody who can relate to your story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Today. So with that being said, any last comments, questions, concerns you got for me, or you want to say to the people before we head out of this joint?
No, be you. You're the only version of you that God created. Just be your best version of yourself, And the thing I used to say all the time was never settle. Never settle. Never settle for what you're worth. Nope. And, go for it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. All right, y'all. Right. Until next time, I love y'all. Love and light. Peace out. Ow.